welcome to our panel discussion, the documentary on the social dilemma. My name is Grace Hanish, and I'll be your moderator today. And this film explores the hidden systems behind our favorite social media platforms, how they're designed, how they shape our behavior, and how they impact our mental health, relationships, and society as a whole. So, in this conversation, our goal isn't to criticize technology, but to understand it. We want to look honestly at the habits that we formed and the ways that the platform influences us and the places where we might need healthier boundaries and more awareness. So, joining me today are my fellow classmates. Say hi, everybody.
Hey guys, my name is Edgar Roach.
My name's Kalina Apana.
My name is Chad Paskins.
And each of them are willing to bring their own experiences and perspectives into the discussion. So together, we'll talk through a series of questions about our personal social media habits, the design of these platforms, and our overall thoughts on the film. So without further ado, we hope this panel not only reflects the themes of the social dilemma, but also helps us think more intentionally about the role technology plays in our daily lives. So with that said, let's jump into our first question. What is your favorite moment or quote from the social dilemma and why?
So my favorite quote, I would probably have to say is the line in the film where it says, "If you're not paying for the product, that you are the product." Um, I like it because I mean we all treat like social media. It's like I mean it's free, the liking stuff, posting random memes, but it's like basically like the apps aren't serving us in any way. They're just like selling us, and our attention is basically what they profit from. So, yeah, and like you really see that in the scene like with the three algorithm guys controlling like the teen boy's phone. Like every time he starts pulling away, they push him a new notification or like a video just to like reel him back in.
Mm.
And I mean, it's creepy, but it like makes like the quote feel real and like he's literally being manipulated because of his attention. Like his attention is worth like the money, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
I tell you, Colina definitely stole my notes. I'm joking. I'm joking. But I have the same one. It was powerful watching the young boy and how his attention was grabbed. And if one thing didn't work, then it was a message from a girl that he liked. If it wasn't a message or a like from social media, it was something else, an ad or marketing.
Mhm.
And it made me think about my pastor back home in the Bay Area. Before I became a Christian, I would go over his house and we would watch a game, whether it was football or basketball, and he would mute as soon as it went to commercial. And I'd be like, Pastor, after about a year, I said, what is that? He's like, well, I don't need anybody selling me anything. I know what I want. And it just went right over my head. I'm like, this guy is crazy, just a little too spiritual. And now I get it. We are the product that are we're being tracked. They know us in many respects better than we do. And I just find it interesting in this day and age that not only do we have to watch our intake, but we have to watch that for our children or those closest to us.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
what's crazy is I that was eye-opening for me because I always wondered how they made their money. And when I watched that, I was like, oh my God. So I also noticed that even with that video, that even with my phone, if I say certain things, it downloads exactly what I said. And
Yes,
I
it's
see it in ads
creepy.
the next 5 minutes, and I'm like, wow. So it just was eye opening to me with that quote. It blew my mind.
Now that we've talked about the film itself, let's shift our own into our own experiences with social media. Which social media apps do you guys use the most and why?
I'll start it off.
Okay.
I love all of them, and recently I got back into them. I was on a hiatus for about 5 years, and I would say the last year I used Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. For me, I use them as an outlet. I monitor my time. I turn off my notifications so that I don't get too many. I think I have Instagram notifications now. But I make sure that the algorithm doesn't get too wonky. As a Christian, and one day, God willing, a pastor, I definitely want to make sure that the content that I'm watching is wholesome because the internet has some pretty funny stuff out there. So when I start to get too far away from the gospel singing, the church clips, I'll make sure to hit that like button. I'll smash it a bunch of times so I can kind of reset that algorithm. But I like them all. I think that, as you said, Grace, we're not here to bash technology. It is here to stay, whether we like it or not. I
Mhm.
think that it's a tool like anything else,
Yeah.
and how we use it is going to determine what others see. And as Christians, I think that what better time than right now than to post Christian content to raise awareness about Christ
Yeah.
and to live the life, not just speak it.
Well, I will say, if I can go,
Mhm.
I use all the platforms because I more so use it for business. As you found out before we got on, I'm not just the officer, but I'm also a hair colorist. So I use all the platforms to advertise for myself, as well as what you just said, Edgar. It is important for us to use it for us as believers because that's what Jesus was saying when he said that you would reach more people than I've ever reached. It's
Amen.
just simply this platform that's allowing us to go cross country, cross seas, and all over the place, and we're compelling men to come. We're fishermen of men, and we're reaching people with this algorithm that they're talking about. We're reaching people that we never would have the opportunity to reach. I, as a platform, I noticed that since I've been using social media, business has rocketed. Even since COVID, I was at such a platform. COVID broke it down to where it was hardly none, but then social media brought it right back. So I actually hired a social media person to manage my stuff. So I really don't be on social media like that. But what I do is I log on just to see the views and stuff like that. But it really is a tool that can be used not only just for a business, but for the gospel.
For me, I'm young. It's it's built in our generation, but for me, my most used apps, I looked it up on my screen time, is Instagram and TikTok.
There you go.
Um, it's like the videos are short. It grabs you, so it's just my brain is like just one more video, and then suddenly it's like bedtime. It's midnight. But it's just, yeah, it's easy to get sucked into, and I'm trying to like put it off as much as I can because it's not healthy. It's not good to use it for certain reasons, but I also use YouTube though for more like content with a purpose for like, studying work. Like I go there to learn things, like watch longer videos, or just to like listen to people talk, like podcasts and stuff. And it's like a community vibe. Like you can follow like creators over years, and then it's very interesting to see other people's views on things. So I think YouTube is like an underdog with the
She
with
said
all
an
the
underdog.
platforms.
And you saying that though, my daughter is 29.
Mm.
She's never worked a job ever. She's been a social what's it called,
Oh
influencer.
yeah,
Yeah.
I remember you
From
saying
20
that.
Right.
from 20 years old to 29, she has made millions of dollars
Wow.
doing this. I
Yeah, that's
don't
another
know how
thing.
she did it, but I used to do her books, and I was like, "Oh my God, you make this kind of money from YouTube?"
So those are awesome perspectives. Amazing conversation. So let's take that a step further and think about how social media affects us in our day to day. So question number three is, do you feel social media influences your attention span, focus, or productivity, and in what ways?
Yeah, I can
Hey,
go.
Kalina.
Um, yeah, social media definitely messes with my attention span. I just feel like the short form content has really trained my brain to want like quick entertainment or like, like instant answers. And if something like doesn't grab me in like 3 seconds, I'm like already bored and like moving on, which is it's a bad habit, but my brain is trained in that way for some reason, and it's like it's expecting a reward every few seconds. It's weird, but like, and then there's like notifications, the mini interruptions that don't like distract you when you completely lose train of your thought. And when I'm doing homework, like the one little buzz from the notification can send me spiraling into like 20 minutes of just scrolling and losing track of thought. So yeah.
I find that social media has changed my perspective of preaching. I actually try to grab people in the first couple minutes with either a catchy theme or a catchy subtopic. And when I say that, I mean I try to grab their attention right away and then not take long with the meat of the message. Um, I also find that social media, it is a distraction because when I go out to dinner with my wife and my 9-year-old, I make a habit of putting my phone away, but I watch them and they're on their phones. And I sometimes sitting there, I'm like, came to have dinner, and they're like, "Oh." And my son, he's because he's playing games as well as social media, and my wife, I guess because that's her only time she really can really do it, So I find this a distraction in ways, and it's a help in ways as well. But I think you really do have to monitor what time you spend on it because, like she was saying, you can get on there and get lost.
No, that's good. I view it as a good and a bad, and I have to have the switch in my mind to know when to turn it on and turn it off. So I typically try to use it only in the evening. I may pop in the morning or in the afternoon for a few minutes, but I look at it as a distraction and it takes me away from being productive. I am a productivity freak from the time I get up. I love systems, I love routine.
Yep, that's
I really enjoy it. It's how you get through the day. I mean, we wear so many hats. We're students, we're full-time
Mhm.
employees, we serve at our churches. I have a wife, kids. Like, I mean, it just never ends. So for me, making sure that I put it in its right place, that I give it
Mm.
an allotted time, and I try not to go outside of that. I like to say whenever I'm on social media, I'm being my most stupid self. It's when I can just tear away, where I can
That's
just
crazy.
laugh, I can enjoy, and just look at some of the foolishness that's out there. But I love what you said, Elder Paskins, that it's also a tool where you can spread the message. And I'm definitely going to use some of your tips that use something catchy, catch them in the first couple of minutes, and get to the meat of it. That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for your honest answers. And that leads us into our next question. Moving on from how these platforms are actually designed to shape those habits. So, knowing that platforms are engineered to keep you scrolling and checking notifications, do you feel manipulated? Like, have you ever thought or caught yourself staying on an app longer than you intended? How has it affected your sleep schedule, your productivity, school, work, like you were saying, Edgar?
Yep, I do. I don't look at it as a them. I look at it as a me. I necessarily don't think when social media was invented, they fully understood the scope of what it would become and how it ultimately could affect people. I think through many study cases, we've learned a lot along the way, but
Hmm.
it's up to the individual user to make sure that you are monitoring your usage. If you're a child underage, making sure that your parents are using the teen accounts that's available or putting the parental controls
Hmm.
on these accounts. We have to be knowledgeable of what and how much time we're spending on our apps. I think that that's a very good start.
I had to set my phone where I didn't get notifications from the social medias, but I did get notifications from my Bible app. And one thing I had to gear myself to is
Good.
when I felt like picking up my phone to look at the app, I would go to my Bible app. because I found that I was doing more social media than I was studying, and it kind of wasn't even. So what I do now is I try to, when I feel that itch, I'll go pick up the app for my daily scripture or something like that, and it, you know.
I did the same thing actually. I made the Bible app like give me notifications and stuff like that. But it's also like you physical Bible because there's still obviously other stuff you're getting notified for, and it's easy to, just to go to that other source and be distracted in that way. So, but yeah, I mean, I've just been trying to be more aware of it and just trying to turn off notifications, just all of it off, and just setting time limits for myself. Or even just leaving my phone in another room. Like again, when you're with family, you shouldn't be on your phone. You should be, socializing, connecting. But yeah, just being conscious of those platforms and, just push back from it as much as you can.
Edgar said something that was interesting. He said that when he goes on social media, he said certain things he wants to watch, he'll put like, and that does work because when
Yes,
you push
yeah.
like on certain things, it regenerates and
Yeah.
brings like if you do comedians, we have this guy in my church called uh what's his name? Oh Lord, what is the boy's name? I can't think of his name right now, but he's a real big influencer. He does like Tyler Perry stuff, um,
Oh.
and he's very big. And if I push his like on his, all his threads just come. And then if I push gospel, all those threads just come.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah, as a former social media manager, I tried to study that algorithm so much. And it truly is like sometimes like even if I knew like as I'm on the business account, I'm like, oh like this is kind of like cheesy things that I'm liking right now because but I just need to interact in order to get the right things coming up on the feed. So it's like, and when I interact with certain things as that business account, then certain other people who also like those things will be able to see my content, you know? And so that's how that was working whenever I was a social media manager. But that definitely like what you guys were saying, yes, like the algorithm will listen to you whenever you say like, hey, I like this or I'm rewatching this and it takes every single interaction that you use with it for those. But we're going to move on to our next question, question number 5. This next question looks at responsibility and where accountability falls when it comes to social media use. So do you think the responsibility to use social media lies more with the users or the companies?
the users. I feel like it has to lie with the users. It in life itself. It's all about what you do. It's not what they do. I learned that as a kid. Is my mom used to always say, it's not what they do, it's what you do.
Mm,
And Edgar said it earlier. We as believers, we are challenged to live this thing, not just talk it. Because so many people are doing this, but how many people are doing this? And then what they see is
Come on.
what they believe.
For me, I think it's more of a balance when it comes to the companies. I mean, I know they should be creating like more of a safer environment for us, but like as users, we should be intentional with the way we use these platforms. Like, um, I mean, the companies have power in making like an impact, but we also have the power of saying saying back and like, yeah.
That is good. No, I'm with both of you guys. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm one of those guys, kind of like Jocko Willings. It's extreme accountability because at the end of the day, influence is something that you choose to give. Whether that's to a person, a platform, or a place, you give that voluntarily. But at the same time, I thought the film did a great job of highlighting the responsibility of these companies as well. maybe when they were founded and they started, they didn't understand the social impact that it would have, the way that it would shape the world and generations to come. Now that the cat's out the bag, it's never going to go back in. So I do think that the corporations, the companies have a responsibility as well to make sure that they're providing safe platforms for children, for adults. And shout out to Meta. I know Zuckerberg over the last 2 years has put a lot of money into turning the narrative of Facebook around,
He
which is
has the
really a good thing. I
glasses.
love it.
The
I love it.
glasses.
I
Meta.
think I think that's definitely the start,
That's that
but then
social media
ultimately
money.
that extreme, right? It's extreme accountability on our part as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Glasses too.
I totally agree with you all. There is a lot of responsibility that falls on the user. Like my mother always says to me, no one can make you feel anything. No one
Oh,
can make you
that's good.
like think anything. You're the one thinking it. You're the one
Wow.
feeling it. So I have to be in regulation of my own feelings, of my own thoughts and actions. And there's a responsibility that befalls upon me in the way I use and treat the mediums of social media or anything that I have or am around, like in any relationship. No one can make me feel anything. No company can make me feel anything unless I let them and I allow them.
Preach, Grace. Preach,
So,
Come
preach.
on.
It
Yes.
reminds me of a saying that I have, Grace. I tell
what?
people all the time. I There's a difference between a thermometer and a thermostat. I
Mm,
am not a thermometer, so when I go in rooms, I set the temperature. I never go according to the temperature. And the
yeah,
reason why I
Come
do that
on.
is because God that's within me allows me to have the power to
yeah,
walk in and set the atmosphere. If it's a
yeah.
low atmosphere, I bring it up.
Yeah, like don't be conformed to the culture of the world, but be
That's it.
transformed by the renewing of
Transformed
your
by the
mind.
renewing of your mind.
Come on.
Exactly. So that's what we're going after here when we're talking about responsibility. There also is a huge responsibility of like regulating content and things that just shouldn't be out in the interwebs, but I totally agree with you guys. So that will lead us into our sixth question. And our last one, if you had to rate the film out of 5 stars, what would you give it and why?
I would give it 5 because it really opened my eyes and taught me some things that I didn't even know. One thing that I caught out of the film was that with Facebook, they've made it so real now where even they can tell with your eyes, the way your eyes move, they can regulate what's enticing to you. So I would give it a 5 because it's very informative and it just opened my eyes to a lot of stuff I didn't even know.
I definitely give the film a five. I give it a five, not just because it was a great film and it was informative, but shout out to the team, the producers, all of the former execs, and everybody who participated in making this. You're facing some mountains in real time. These are some of the world's biggest companies. To be a whistleblower, that has to be scary. You have to have
Mhm.
courage and be courageous to step out and say, this is for the greater good, and this is something that the public needs to be aware of. And as Christians, we are always trying to affect change by interlacing with the gospel and telling people about Jesus and raising awareness. And while many of these individuals may not or may be Christians, I'm not sure, they were definitely spreading awareness. So I appreciated that greatly.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd give it a 5 too. I thought this film was very eye-opening as well. The documentary, like, it really makes you reflect on, our own habits and the power that the tech companies hold. It's definitely worth watching, in my opinion, especially if you like never thought about like how algorithms shape your behavior.
Yeah, definitely. It's so important to be aware and to have the awareness. So as we wrap up, today's discussion, the biggest takeaway is that social media affects all of us in very different ways, but we're not stuck in those habits is what's important, right? So the film and our conversation today reminds us that awareness matters. And when we understand how these platforms influence our time, our emotion, and our decisions, we can start using them more intentionally instead of automatically letting them affect us. There's definitely a challenging side to social media, but there's also a hopeful side as long as we stay mindful, set healthy boundaries, think critically about how we engage with it. We can build a much healthier relationship with the digital world. So thank you to all of our speakers who shared so honestly today. Thank you everyone for watching, and we hope this conversation encourages you to reflect on your own habits and make those choices for your well-being. You have been on the pod.
Get